What is going on, guys? It is Jonathan back again with the weekly scuffle, and I'm here to talk about the Jaylen Waddle trade. Jaylen Waddle, the Penguin, he's had a lot of great moments down here in Miami. He's been a great, solid, consistent force at the wide receiver position, and honestly, I think it hurts to see him go for a lot of fans. He's still young enough to where you believe he could have been here for the next regime and the next QB, whoever that may be, even if it is Malik Willis or somebody in the draft in the future. I think he could have definitely been a solid piece for that, but at the same time, I think getting this value isn't necessarily a bad thing. We got quite a few picks, and I think that's going to be great for the Dolphins. But as far as Jaylen Waddle goes, I think him in Denver with Bo Nix and the team they're building over there, Sean Payton, they've definitely created a solid foundation. I think they showed they could have playoff success. If it wasn't for that Bo Nix injury, they could have potentially been in the Super Bowl and maybe even won the whole thing. So I think it's definitely interesting to see how this is going to play out for Denver. I think they're going to be solid. Hopefully, not for too long, because I do hope the Dolphins eventually figure out this rebuild and we will be competing in the playoffs shortly. But regardless, for now, I will be rooting for Waddle and Denver, and I think he's going to be a solid player for them, and hopefully, they find a lot of success together. With that being said, the Dolphins' main and only focus right now should be on the NFL Draft 2026. It's definitely interesting because as far as first round picks, of course, now we have two. The 30th pick is the 30th pick, but it's still a potential place where we could grab talent. I think the fourth round pick swap that we did in the trade wasn't necessarily good or bad. I think it's just a whatever move. But adding that third round pick is very interesting for me because that does make the Dolphins have four third round picks. And honestly, I think that could be where we make or break this draft because we have four third round picks. And honestly, I think that's where you could fill a lot of the holes that the Dolphins currently have. You could potentially draft a good lineman. You could draft secondary. You could draft wide receiver in that third round and have solid, productive players for now and for years to come. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this draft plays out. We really have to see the prospects that are coming in. I think best player available should be the move. I don't think there's any one position in the draft where the Dolphins should be like, no, we're not going to take that guy. So exception would maybe be Jeremiah Love because of Devon A-Chain, but if the Dolphins are willing to move on Waddle, there's a chance that maybe they'll move on A-Chain too. So we'll have to see how all this plays out. But with that being said, NFL draft is the Dolphins' focus. We'll see how all this plays out and see you next time. Peace.